Earlier this month, the Department of Mineral and Petroleum Resources announced wide-ranging decreases in fuel prices, which came into effect last Wednesday, providing some relief to motorists. But Debt Rescue's Annalyn van der Poel says consumers are hard-pressed and that they'll feel little relief due to the increase in other expenses.
Unfortunately, that relief is not really coming through into our pockets as consumers. It's not negating the situation where the cost of living just keeps rising. You know, inflation, as you say, it is lower, but it's still sitting above the 3% mark. And unfortunately, the inflation, one of the big contributors to the higher side of the inflation is food, those critical items we need in our budget every single month. So it's a very, very stressful time for consumers at the moment.
Debt Rescue says the phenomenon of consumers having more month than they do money was very real, especially in January, given that some households were paid very early in December and need to stretch their limited resources essentially across 6 weeks, with the temptation to take on credit a reality.
We are seeing, anything from, for example, usage of credit cards and store cards, etc., along with, taking out short-term loans and sometimes even the bigger loans, but specifically short-term loans, what we refer to as payday loans.
The advice being given is that households must be strict in following their set budgets, as well as shopping around to get the best deals, among other strategies. But for consumers who don't see themselves being able to get out of the debt rut in the months to come, they're being urged to seek help.
When it comes to a situation where this is unfortunately not just a January thing, but actually an every month situation, possibly you are sitting with a situation where, in spite of making all of the changes and reviewing your budget and cutting back on everything, you could potentially be over-indebted. And that is where debt counseling is a brilliant solution for over-indebtedness, finding ways for consumers to get out of that debt spiral and not having to take on credit every single month and just becoming more and more over-indebted to repay that debt and eventually become financially free.
Van der Poel says consumers who decide to get help with their debt issues must do their homework and sign up with a company registered under the National Credit Act so that they avoid getting scammed by bad actors looking to take advantage. Nampumela Losiziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.